Hey friends, happy Monday, the 27th of January. It's nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I'll share with you a reflection on the daily readings. The readings are linked below. Click the link, read the readings prayerfully, and then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. Local announcement, we have a volunteer appreciation dinner Friday night at the SCM Parish Center. We'd love for you and your family to come join us and just celebrate all of the volunteers who share their time, their talent, their financial resources with our faith community. It doesn't matter how large or how small your volunteer commitment is, come and rejoice in that ability to serve. Please let the parish office know if you're coming so that we can make sure that we plan for enough food. We have readings from the letter to the Hebrews as well as Mark's Gospel. Let's start with Mark's Gospel. Jesus is driving out demons, and he gets criticized for bringing healing and deliverance and freedom to the children of God. And we should just stop right there, right? Like, how many times have people doing good been criticized? And perhaps how many times have we criticized people doing good? And one of the things that I can struggle with, and you've heard me struggle with this, is that, it seems like Christians for 2,000 years have continued to take a play out of this playbook. And whenever something new comes along, our knee-jerk reaction can be, that comes straight from the devil. Instead of really trying to seek understanding, instead of expressing curiosity at what might be happening and where it might be coming from, we can immediately condemn it. And Jesus Christ, the one that we call true God and true human being, was himself condemned for being possessed, and that his power came from the devil, right? That he had an evil spirit. Jesus ridicules those who hear him, right? Like, what kingdom divided against itself could stand, right? Like, if I have an evil spirit and I cast out evil spirits, that doesn't make sense. But rather, someone stronger has come in here and has tied up the devil and is now bringing freedom. And Jesus is that stronger one, the Holy One of God. I definitely know Catholics who can take this sin against the Holy Spirit, and they worry that they themselves are not forgiven, right? And the Catechism teaches that I'm going to forget this right now, but that there are basically two sins against the Holy Spirit, presumption and we can then think that we are not forgiven. But fundamentally, especially in this passage, it's about refusing to believe that the Holy Spirit of God is working in Jesus. That is the sin that Jesus is calling for here. So I just encourage you, if you think that you cannot be forgiven, go and pray with a priest and ask for forgiveness. I do suspect that with some pastoral care and some sacramental guidance, you will be able to be forgiven, right? Okay, because that can sometimes lurk around in the back of our minds, and the evil one can use it to tell us that we're hopeless cases and we might as well just give up. But I don't want anybody that's listening to this to ever think that, okay? So what would be a spiritual point here? To rejoice in the power of Jesus, to especially think about the things that are scaring us, the things that are intimidating us, the things that we don't know how on earth we're going to do. And to remember that Jesus is the strong one who's already won the victory, and to pray for the strength that we need in whatever it is that might be challenging us to follow after Jesus and to have confidence in his victory. All right. First reading from the letter to the Hebrews. We have again an exhortation to Jewish Christians to recognize that the sacrifice of Jesus is done once for all, and it's made in heaven. So it's not a repeated sacrifice. It's not done here on earth in a copy of the heavenly sanctuary. It's done once and for all, right? Catholics can sometimes get picked on like, every time you celebrate Mass, you're re-crucifying Jesus. No. Jesus has offered the sacrifice once and for all. We participate in it because, he commanded us to. We share in it because Jesus offers the sacrifice that is outside of time and space. And every time, in memory or in physical presence, that we engage, we are also at the foot of the cross when Jesus is offering the great sacrifice to the Father. Perhaps we sit in wonder and awe at what Jesus has done for us. Or perhaps we seek to offer ourselves in loving sacrifice for our brothers and sisters, uniting our own suffering, our own sacrifice with that of Jesus, who offered it once for all in love and perfect obedience and was heard from the Father. All right, friends, read those readings prayerfully. Turn off the screen. Spend some time before you move on to other things. Pray for folks having a hard time. God bless y'all.